Hey everybody, John from PSI here. Do you want to polish a turd? Well, if you do, then this video isn't for you. So what we're going to talk about today is three things. We're going to talk about what the differences between Terminator X and Terminator X Max are. We're going to talk about what engine and transmission applications work with the Terminator X controller. And then we're going to specifically get into the differences between the PSI offering and the Holley offering. So the first thing is kind of simple. What's the difference between Terminator X and Terminator X Max? It's very simple. Terminator X Max can handle drive-by-wire capabilities, whether it's Gen 3 or Gen 4 setups, and it can also handle your automatic transmissions, your 4L60s and 4L80s. It's the only difference. There's a slight upcharge between them, but for the most part, they're basically the same. So the nice thing about the Holley setup in general is the fact that this controller will run 24X or 58X LS engines. So LS Vortec engines from say 1997 all the way up to 2013-ish, we'll call it. You don't need to run different types of controllers like the GM setup is. So in GM's case, we were running 411 red and blue or 242 green and blue controllers for 24X, and then you'd have to switch out to an E38 for 58X. With the Holley setup, you can run this same controller. Granted, some of the connectors are going to change, but the controller itself is going to be the same. So the advantage there is that, let's say you have a Gen 3, a 2004 6-liter LQ4 engine that you're running in your swap. When you, if you upgrade to, let's say, an LS3 setup, which is 58X, you don't have to change a controller. And really, it's just minor things that are going to have to change on the harness in order to make that to work for you. The other nice thing about the PSI harness, and we're going to show you more details later on in this video, is that when you order a harness from PSI, if you order it for drive-by-wire or drive-by-cable, if you order it for EV6 injectors or EV1 injectors, or if you order it for a 4L80, the harness is going to come completely integrated. It's not going to be an add-on sub-harness where you have different harnesses being run in your engine compartment, adding to the melee that is the spaghetti that the Holley harness looks like. So I know what you're probably thinking. Why would PSI spend all this time, money, and energy developing a harness that Holley already offers in their controller kit? And it goes back to what I originally said in the beginning of the video. You can't polish a turd. We view this as an American-made, better laid out, higher quality version of what Holley offers. And mostly, while you can buy it as a kit, we do sell it as a kit, just like Holley does. It comes with the controller, it comes with the screen, it comes with all the items the Holley kit comes with, except it comes with an American-made harness. But if you already have a Holley Terminator kit, you can buy just the harness from us. It's a nice, relatively cost-effective upgrade that's going to look really nice under the hood of your car and really show off the talents that you have as a builder. So now we're going to talk specifically about the PSI harness. Now, what you need to know is this is laid out in the same way the harnesses we've been making for the last 20 years are laid out. We give you roughly 4 to 5 feet of length from the back of the cylinder head to where you can mount your controller and fuse block that we provide with it, all under the dash. We have a sliding grommet seal, so that way you drill a 2-inch hole in the firewall, you slide the grommet seal, you feed everything in from inside the passenger compartment into the engine compartment, you slide the grommet seal, it snaps in place. It's a super tight, factory-looking setup. I mean, we'll start at the controller side and then we'll work our way into the engine compartment. So we're going to use the same connectors that the Holley harness uses, so that way it gets into the Terminator Max. We're going to have our underdash fuse block. Now this differs from the Holley one because the Holley only offers you one fuse. We give you an actual fuse block that's going to have all your fuses for each circuit separate. The advantage to this is the fact that, like, let's say you do blow an injector fuse. You can easily trace it and diagnose what happened as opposed to pulling one fuse because the fuse blew and not knowing where the problem is. We give you all the wiring for your transmission, drive-by cable, drive-by-wire, it's all in this same trunk line. There are no additional sets of sub-connectors that are going to come out of this that you got to run through your firewall or from under the car or wherever it's got to go. It all comes through in one spot. It makes it super clean. We use all GM TXL style wire. We use all factory OEM Delphi connectors. We use quality braid. And this is all machine crimped and made in the USA. as opposed to the Holley offering, which is made in the quality of the connectors, the quality of the wire may or may not be what the OEM specified when LS engines were created. As we go through this and we get into the engine compartment, you can see we come through the grommet seal and everything comes out exactly where it needs to be. So your injectors for cylinder 1 and 3 are separate. It's not difficult to see where they all come out in one spot like the Holley setup does. So the Holley harness, the setup is going to be a sub connector, and then they're going to give you a sub harness for your injectors based on the injector you choose. What PSI is going to do is at the time of ordering, you're going to say, hey, I got an EV6 injector, and we're going to give you an EV6 connector, or an EV1 or a Multec. Whatever you ask for is what you're going to get. Same with the transmission. Transmission connector, if you say you're running a 4L60 or 4L80, it's all going to be integrated into the harness. Again, coming through that one hole in the firewall for that clean install. We're going to pick up constant power for the harness itself down at the big lug of the starter. Nice clean install. You're going to have your switch power is going to go to your chassis harness for our fuse block. And then you're going to have a few grounds on the harness that are going to connect to your cylinder head. We also recommend a ground kit. Obviously, Holley specifically says in their instructions to have a lot of grounds, good grounds. The power portion of the harness, for the controller I should say, the power portion of that is still separate, just like the Holley harness, because that's required for this controller. So the positive and negative for this go directly to the battery. Pretty much that's the basic layout of the harness. Like I said, it's just clean, it's made in the USA, it's designed for your swap as opposed to just for the controller. And lastly, all our harnesses are 100% quality checked on our Cirrus tester before they get boxed up and before they get to the customer. If you have any questions or you'd like to know more information about this harness or any of our other offerings, you can check us out at psiconversion.com, or you can leave a comment down below and we'll be sure to get back to you. Remember, wire it up, fire it up.